Today our topic is the dichotomy of control, the key to peace. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes it feels like everything is out of our hands. But what if I told you that the key to peace, happiness, and a meaningful life lies in understanding one simple idea? This idea is called the dichotomy of control, and it comes from Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to live well. The dichotomy of control is about understanding what is in our power and what is not. This understanding can change the way we see the world and help us find peace, even in the most difficult times. Let's break this down. First, let's talk about control. Control is something we all want. We want to control our lives, our future, our relationships, and even other people. But the truth is, we cannot control everything. In fact, most things in life are not under our control. Think about it. We cannot control the weather, the actions of others, or even many of the events that happen to us. We cannot control whether we get sick, whether we lose our job, or whether someone treats us unfairly. These things are outside our control. But here is the good news. While we cannot control these external events, we can control how we respond to them. This is the essence of the dichotomy of control. The dichotomy of control divides everything in life into two categories: things we can control and things we cannot control. The things we can control are our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes. The things we cannot control are everything else: other people's opinions, the past, the future, and the events that happen around us. When we focus on what we can control, we feel empowered. When we focus on what we cannot control, we feel frustrated and helpless. The key to peace is to focus only on what we can control and let go of what we cannot control. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are in a traffic jam. You cannot control the traffic. You cannot control the other drivers. You cannot control the fact that you are late. But what can you control? You can control your reaction. You can choose to stay calm. You can use the time to listen to music or think about something positive. You can control how you respond to the situation. This is the power of the dichotomy of control. It helps us shift our focus from what we cannot change to what we can change. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds easy, but it's hard to do in real life. And you're right. It is not easy. Letting go of what we cannot control is one of the hardest things to do. We are wired to want control. We want to fix things, change things, and make things better. But the truth is, trying to control what we cannot control only leads to stress, anxiety, and disappointment. On the other hand, when we accept what we cannot control, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. Acceptance is not about giving up. It's about recognizing reality and focusing our energy on what we can do. Let's take another example. Imagine you are worried about what other people think of you. You cannot control their thoughts or opinions. You can be kind, honest, and respectful, but you cannot force someone to like you or approve of you. What you can control is your own behavior. You can choose to be true to yourself. You can choose to act with integrity. You can choose to focus on your own values rather than seeking validation from others. When you do this, you stop worrying about what you cannot control and start living a life that is true to who you are. The dichotomy of control also teaches us to be humble. It reminds us that we are not the center of the universe. We are part of a larger world, and many things are beyond our power. This humility can help us let go of our ego and accept life as it is. It can help us stop fighting against reality and start working with it. When we stop trying to control everything, we open ourselves to peace and contentment. Another important lesson from the dichotomy of control is the idea of focusing on the present moment. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. The only moment we have is now. When we focus on the present, we can take action and make choices that align with our values. We cannot change the past and we cannot predict the future, but we can control what we do right now. This focus on the present moment is a powerful tool for finding peace and clarity. Let's talk about how to apply the dichotomy of control in everyday life. The first step is to identify what is in your control and what is not. When you face a problem, ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is yes, take action. If the answer is no, let it go. For example, if you are worried about a test, focus on studying and preparing. That is in your control. But worrying about the questions or the results is not helpful because that is not in your control. Similarly, if you are in a difficult relationship, focus on your own behavior and communication. You cannot control the other person, but you can control how you respond. The second step is to practice acceptance. Acceptance does not mean that you like or agree with what is happening. It simply means that you recognize reality and stop fighting against it. When you accept what you cannot control, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and frustration. For example, if it rains on your wedding day, you cannot control the weather. You can choose to be upset, or you can accept the rain and focus on enjoying your day. Acceptance allows you to move forward and make the best of any situation. The third step is to focus on your own actions and attitudes. This is where your power lies. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to be kind, patient, and resilient. You can choose to act with integrity and stay true to your values. When you focus on what you can control, you take responsibility for your own life. This sense of responsibility is empowering and liberating. Finally, remember that the dichotomy of control is not about being passive or indifferent. It is about being proactive in the areas where you have power and letting go of the rest. It is about taking action where you can and finding peace in what you cannot change. This balance between action and acceptance is the key to a peaceful and meaningful life. In conclusion, the dichotomy of control is a simple but profound idea that can transform the way we live. By focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot control, we can find peace, happiness, and resilience in the face of life's challenges. This does not mean that life will always be easy, but it means that we can face difficulties with grace and strength. The next time you feel stressed or overwhelmed, remember the dichotomy of control. Ask yourself, what can I control? Focus on that, and let go of the rest. This is the key to peace. This is the key to a good life.